this book got out of order. This is actually like 1990, what is it? Oh, 1995. So this goes back to the little drawings I was doing in the earlier books. I like this one. I like this one. That's funny. Oh, I think that's a self-portrait. So I think I mentioned earlier that one of my obsessions at this time, so I was about 15, about 17 years old, was creating little families and giving them names and ages and just creating stories. This is 30 years ago. I just can't even believe this. Little families. I loved to do family groupings. I just loved it. Just loved it. And other things too, but really loved doing family. Oh my goodness. That's not a little... that made me think of the Open Skies collection. This kind of looks like the Fallen Angel piece from earlier. Little still life. Little faces from my head. Oh, that's... One of my earliest memories is sitting on my dad's shoulders and looking down and watching drool go on top of his hair, watching myself drool into his hair. So I must have been pretty young, but I remember that. Little cute pudgy babies was like my obsession back then. Wish I could get into my mind for just a short amount of time. I'm giving them names. Looks like some happy little people. These are of my friend Tina, so I texted those to her. Little pudgy babies again. Fascination. Okay, so this is Friends then. Oh, that is so cute. That is super cute. This one feels like something I've done more recently. Wow, how weird. 30 years ago, guys. This is, my mom and my stepfather. Oh, that doesn't even look like my work. I don't know. It doesn't look like my writing either. I think it probably is, though. Mommies and children. 30 years ago. I think the seeds were planted early. I don't even especially know how. I guess just partly by being a kid with a mom and also growing up with friends who had lots of siblings. I used to like to pose the little people in my drawings and give them little personalities. I can tell by the eyes, I know that's my friend Tina. And like give them little personalities and talk, in my mind I would joke that they like talk to me in my mind, but I would just be like thinking about who their siblings were and who their parents were and like what they did for fun and where they lived and what their home life was like. And I just just liked to kind of figure out the stories behind the people. And I think that's why when I do custom paintings for people, I like to know the names of the family members, especially the kids. Well, all the family members. But I love to... I'm getting sketchbook fatigue, but I still have 4 more to go through, and I'm determined not to be a quitter. I just found this drawing of my dad. 1995, 3 years before he passed away. Crazy, 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 crazy. More about him later. Leave no one else to draw. Draw yourself. Or your boyfriend. Or your plant. So heading back into the pen and ink days, this is while I was in college, Central Washington University. I loved drawing with ink on paper. Oh, you've seen that before. That's like probably the original of those prints I showed you. Fruits and household things. Gosh, I kind of remember making this actually. Still life. Imaginary still life. 2001, more pen and ink. You might recognize this. This is the original that made those prints we talked about earlier that I hand colored and sold at events. So this is the original. That's interesting. Pen and ink is awesome because you can just really go crazy with it, especially if you've got the time. Clearly I did. Time well spent, my opinion. Oh, there's my mother and my stepfather. That is cute. There's another one of the originals I showed you earlier. I just found something so cool. My grandpa, and while I was drawing him, I must have been asking him what his favorite things were, because I wrote them down as I was drawing, and then I incorporated them. Hershey Kisses, chips and salsa, books, a big book in the background, shrimp, asparagus, all into his drawing. How fun. And this is my grandma. I must have asked her favorite things, and then maybe they intimidated me because the only thing I ended up incorporating was the gardening, the flowers and the leaves. And then I found this with my mom. I didn't write down the favorite things, but look, pasta, Trivial Pursuit, her 4 kids, carrots, cats, shrimp, elephants, broccoli, flowers, music. Perfect, it's all her. What a treasure to have found these. While in this pen and ink book, I found this self-portrait. I used to love to draw veggies. I always thought I would be a canned vegetable label designer someday. That didn't really turn out, but I do love vegetables. Not canned ones, though. And trees, always trees. Oh, with ladybugs built into the trees. People. How fun. How fun. Oh, and there's spaghetti arms. There they are. This must be the great birth of the spaghetti arms. I used to love to draw these people. More 2001 pen and ink. I have no idea what I'm gonna find in these books. I'm not pre-looking except a tiny bit, just to get some photos of things a couple times. So my internship was at a science museum, and I asked them if I could please draw these creatures, because I love drawing in black ink, and they, you know, they could be used for like brochures and stuff. So they let me wander around the museum and draw these things, and then we used them as marketing materials, and they got to be featured on like posters and in brochures and stuff. That made me feel pretty honored. Some more things for the Science Museum. Oh. Snake. Plug. Robot. Oh, a computer? Yes, I'm glad they let me do that. That was really fun. I think these are, I don't know what those are. More people. People and trees. Oh, grandma's shirt. Oh, that's me wearing my grandma's shirt. That's inspiring. My mom. Oh. Huh, raspberries. Whales. And Grandpa. And Kevin, my brother. Again. Oh, I think that was an ad for graphic design. Also logo design. Grandma. Graphic design stuff for class. We went on a honeymoon to Hawaii, 2002, for 10 days. And my goal was to fill this sketchbook in 10 days. Now let's see if I can get through it in 60 seconds. It's not looking good. Camera keeps moving. People on the plane, super fun to draw. I loved creating these little animals. So this is the final sketchbook, and this one's really special because this was intending to be a drawing journal of our trip to Maui in 1998. My dad, my grandma, my sister, and I it ended up being not the way we planned. I only got 4 days in when we had to say goodbye. So this is also the book that I was telling you about earlier. So this is special, and I'm going into detail with this one, but this is also the book I was telling you about earlier that has the daily self-portraits. So in 2000, this is like 25 days of self-portraits, and I can't help but feel like I look very sad in all of these. I can't help but feel for this young woman. But I am so glad that I did these. And that's the last one, the worst one. So that is it. And then just this drawing at the end, which is actually pretty cute. A little girl hiding in the pantry eating chocolates. We've all been there.